Ever feel like you want the bottom line on sports betting picks, but without wading through endless stats yourself? We totally get that.
Yeah, it can be a lot.
So today we're diving into Putin's POP Picks page. They put out daily sports betting predictions.
That's right. And we've got their selections for today, May 15th, 2025. Our mission really is just to unpack how they get to these recommendations and, see what the key insights are for today.
Think of it as your shortcut to getting the gist.
Exactly. And look, they track their performance, which is important.
Right.
So far this season, their strong plays are 14-4. Good plays, 11-6. Overall, that's 25 wins, 10 losses.
And the bankroll change.
Up 7.9%. Not bad at all.
Definitely not bad. Okay, so let's jump into their top pick for today. What's the strong play?
Okay, so their strong play is backing the Cincinnati Reds on the money line. They're playing the Chicago White Sox. The odds are -215.
Money line just means picking the winner straight up.
Correct.
Yep.
And they've tagged this with a 75% win probability and a really high confidence score, 90 out of 100.
90? Wow. Okay, so they're feeling pretty good about the Reds. What's behind that confidence?
Well, it seems to boil down to a pretty clear mismatch on paper. You look at the Reds' offense scoring about 4.5, 4.6 runs a game, kind of middle of the pack, 13th rank. Their pitching is similar, 13th in ERA.
Okay, decent. And the White Sox?
That's where the contrast comes in. Their offense really struggles, down at 27th, only scoring around 3.4 runs per game. Pitching is a bit better, 15th in ERA, but still behind the Reds.
So overall, team stats favor the Reds. But what about the specific guys on the mound today? Does that play a big role?
Oh, absolutely. It's key. The Reds have Nick Martinez starting. Now, his expected stats, things like xERA, xFIP, they suggest he's actually performing pretty reliably, right around league average performance. Think of those stats as looking under the hood, beyond just earned runs.
Okay, solid, not spectacular based on those deeper numbers.
Exactly. But then you look at the White Sox starter, Bryce Wilson. His expected stats, they're significantly worse. Like his 6.76 by ERA and 5.39 by FIP suggests he's been quite lucky so far and might be due for some rougher outings.
I see. So it's not just past results, but what the underlying metrics predict going forward. That makes sense.
Precisely. And you've also got the bullpen advantage favoring the Reds. Their bullpen ERA and WEP are better. That's pretty important, especially since they're playing in Cincinnati, which tends to be a hitter-friendly park.
Right. You need that relief pitching to hold leads or keep games close there. Any other factors?
Yeah, a couple of things. The White Sox strike out quite a bit, 23.7% K rate, and they don't hit for a ton of power compared to the Reds. Look at their home run to fly ball rates, 8.6% for Chicago versus 13.1% for Cincy.
Got it. So lots of factors lining up: offense, starting pitching metrics, bullpen, even hitting style. It all points towards the Reds having a significant edge. That explains the -215 odds and why it's their safest bet.
That seems to be the logic, yeah.
All right, let's switch gears. What's the good play? Sounds like maybe better odds.
Yes, exactly. This one offers what they call excellent value. It's the Houston Astros money line at +112 against the Texas Rangers.
Ooh, an underdog pick. Plus money, so you bet 100, you win 112 if the Astros pull it off. What's the thinking here?
So they give this a 55% win probability, lower than the Reds pick, obviously, but still over 50%, and the confidence is 78 out of 100.
Okay, still pretty confident. Why the Astros?
This one leans heavily on pitching. The Astros boast really elite pitching overall, second best ERA in the league, and their bullpen is arguably the very best, 2.69 ERA, 1.1 arrow, WHIP, just stellar numbers.
Wow, okay. And they're facing the Rangers. How's Texas looking?
Well, the Rangers' offense has been, let's say, underwhelming. They rank 26th in runs per game, only slightly better than the White Sox we just talked about.
So strong Astros pitching against a weaker Rangers offense. What about the starters today?
Another interesting matchup. Houston's got Hunter Brown going. His expected stats are fantastic, like a 2.84 by ERA, 2.65 by FIP. That suggests he's pitching way better than even his already good standard ERA shows. Elite stuff.
And for the Rangers?
Jacob deGrom. Now, obviously, deGrom is a huge name and a great pitcher. His expected stats are good too, no doubt. But Brown's underlying numbers, at least according to this analysis, actually look even stronger right now.
Interesting. So even with a name like deGrom on the other side, the stats favor Brown slightly.
Based on these specific expected metrics, yes. The Astros offense isn't exactly setting the world on fire this year. They're below average. But the idea here is that their dominant pitching, led by Brown and backed by that great bullpen, should be enough to stifle a Rangers bat.
Especially in a place like Globe Life Field, which is generally considered more neutral, not extremely hitter or pitcher friendly.
Right. So the plus 112 odds suggest the market favors the Rangers, maybe because of DeGrom's reputation or home field. But Puddin's POP sees this pitching mismatch, creating real value, an opportunity for a Houston upset. Makes it a smart potential bet, in their view.
Okay, that breaks it down nicely. So we've looked at the two main picks from Puddin's POP today, the Reds as a statistically strong favorite and the Astros as a value underdog play based mostly on pitching strength.
Yeah, it really shows how digging into these stats, the expected numbers, the bullpen comparisons, it gives you a different lens than just looking at, say, team records or basic ERA.
It paints a more detailed picture for sure. So for you listening, we hope this quick dive gives you a clearer idea of the kind of analysis that goes into these picks, maybe helps you understand the why behind the recommendations.
And it kind of makes you think, doesn't it? This approach of comparing underlying metrics, looking beyond the surface numbers. How could that apply elsewhere?
That's a great final thought. How might considering these kinds of statistical comparisons, looking for those deeper indicators, change how you evaluate predictions or assess strengths, maybe in your job or investments, or really any area where you're trying to make an informed choice, something to chew on?